Good morning, everyone. I am here today to present about the definition of spiral. First of all, what is spiral? Spiral. A spiral is a curved pattern that focuses on center point in a series of circular shapes that revolve around it. A spiral shape causes plants to condense themselves and not take up as much, causing it to be stronger and more durable against the elements. The reason why plants use spiral form is because they are constantly trying to grow but still stay secure.
Good morning, this is Ed Brian Magnoligna, and I will discuss the history of spiral. The equiangular or logarithmic spiral was discovered by the French scientist René Descartes in 1638. Meanwhile, in 1692, the Swiss mathematician Jacob Bernoulli named it spiral mirabilis or miracle spiral, and for its mathematical properties, it is carved on his tomb. Who is René Descartes? René was born on 1st of March year 1596 and died on 11th of February in year 1650. He was a French-born philosopher, mathematician, and scientist who spent a large portion of his working life in the Dutch Republic, initially serving the Dutch state army of Maurice of Nassau, Prince of Orange and the stadtholder of the United Provinces, who was the first person to study the spiral. In mathematics, Descartes was the first to discover the equiangular spiral formula around the middle of the 17th century. However, the spiral was further studied by Evangelista Torricelli and Jacques Bernoulli. That was later in the 17th century. Bernoulli was so interested in the equiangular spiral's self-reproducing properties that he had the curve engraved on his tomb with the phrase "Iadem mutata resurgo," or "Though change, I rise again the same." Who is Jacob Bernoulli? Jacob Bernoulli or Jacques Bernoulli was born on January 6, year 1655 at Basel, Switzerland, and died on August 16, year 1705, also in Basel, Switzerland. He was the first Bernoulli family of Swiss mathematicians. He introduced the first principles of the calculus of variation and Bernoulli numbers, a concept that he developed, were named for him. Now, let's talk about Evangelista Torricelli's biography. Evangelista Torricelli was born on October 15, year 1608 at Faenza, Romagna. He died on October 25 in year 1647 in Florence, Romagna. He is an Italian physicist and a mathematician who invented the barometer and whose work in geometry aided in the eventual development of integral calculus.
Good day everyone, I am Mary J. Enos. Spiral in math. In mathematics, a spiral is a curve which emanates from a point moving further away as it revolves around the point. A spiral is a pattern that focuses on a center point and series of circular shapes that revolves around it. So sa madaling salita, itong pattern na ito is nakafocus lamang sa gitna.
Good day everyone, my name is Colleen Flores and I will be the one to discuss another example on where we can apply the spiral pattern in mathematics. So in mathematics, we have what we call the Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence was introduced to the West by Leonardo of Pisa. exact, aka Fibonacci. And he described the sequence with a thought experiment about the family of buckets. So the Fibonacci sequence is a sequence where its first two terms are 0 and 1. And each term thereafter is obtained by adding the two preceding terms. So I have here the illustration regarding the Fibonacci sequence. So as you can see the pattern, the 0 and 1, the first two terms are already given. So when you add that, it will give you 1. And then we're going to add the two preceding terms. So 1 plus 1 will give us 2. 1 plus 2 will give us 3. 2 plus 3 will give us 5. 3 plus 5 will give us 8. 5 plus 8 will give us 13, and so on. And Fibonacci derived a formula which is the f sub n equals to f sub n minus 1 plus f sub n minus 2. So this is
Nature is the art of God, according to Dante Alighieri. Good day everyone, I am Jeneline Felicano and I am with Rexalyn Gonzalez. We are going to present to you some amazing examples of spiral in nature. We will show you spirals in rocks, plants, seeds, shells, animals, and space. There are two types of spiral in nature, a flat curve and a 3D spiral which is also known as helix. Some spiral in rocks were formed because of the fossil imprint in it. Some examples are calcite fossil, fossil imprint in beef rock, and an ammonite. Some examples of spirals in plants are pine cones, which is the conical or rounded woody fruit of a pine tree with scales which open to release the seeds. And some flower petals are also spiral. Another example is an aloe spiral or aloe polyphylla. And the best example for spirals in seeds is the sunflower seed, which is also the fruit of sunflower.
And now we move to spirals in shell. A nautilus shell is one of the examples of spirals in shell. A nautilus shell is a tropical sea mollusk having an alternating color which is white and light brown bands on the outside and many chambers on the inside. Next is spirals in animals. This is a ram's horn. A ram's horn or a male sheep horn can also be used as a musical instrument for religious purposes. And then we move to spirals in space. A galaxy is an example of spirals in space. Astronaut believes that galaxies have a spiral arms because it spins or rotates into the central axis.
Good day everyone, I am Jeneline Felicano and I do appreciate God's creation because every time I see God's creation, the nature, I was reminded that He designed this perfectly because He loves me and He wants me to enjoy the nature. And I do appreciate the nature by first thanking God for what He has given us. Second, enjoying it without destroying it. And third, taking good care of it. Because after all, we are His stewards of His creation, the nature. Again, I am Jeneline Felicano and I do appreciate God's creation. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Colleen Flores and I would like to share my appreciation in God's creation. The videos made me realize how powerful, creative, and very particular God is. Powerful because He made it all possible to create wonders in this world. Creative because each of us has our purpose and beauty. And very particular because even the smallest creature in this world has its own characteristic, and this is the one that sets us apart and be unique in our very own. Human studies, especially in the different patterns God has created, helps us to uncover our wonders and lead us to an amazement how God made it all possible. So I want to show my appreciation through nature walk. And I will be forever grateful to be a part of this amazing world.
Good day everyone, I am Marjorie Ibos. Based on the video clip that I've watched, I have learned that God's creation is indeed very mysterious. It can be connected in mathematics. I was amazed at the Fibonacci sequence that explains the pattern of nature. It proves that the flowers do not really have disparate numbers of petals, but rather it has pattern. The petals of different flowers only have their own pattern. God's creation are truly amazing. I truly appreciated the beauty and the mysterious God's creation. In addition to my reflection, I also thought that God's creation have a big connection on mathematics. They both mystery, because the more we discover its part, the more it gets mysterious.
Good day, this is Ed Brian Magnoligna, and I do appreciate God's creations. After watching the video presentations that talks about God's creations, it made me realize how much it is important in our daily lives. At bilang pagtanaw ng utang na loob sa kagandahang likha ng Panginoon, sa pamamagitan ng pagtatanim at pagsunod sa proper way segregation, maipapakita ko ang aking pagpapahalaga sa likha nito. We have to take good care of His creations and sustain it, because without His creations, we are nothing. So why not enjoying His creations without destroying it, right? Again, this is Ed Brian Magnoligna, and I do appreciate God's creation.
God's create lights, nature, and all of the natural designs and patterns that we see. Everything is created by Him, even we humans. He leaves us patterns to accomplish all the trials and challenges in our life. All we have to do is to follow that pattern, which is His words, and use it in our life here on earth. Being thankful is not enough to express our feelings to Him, because He did everything for us to live. That is why we need to do everything for Him. Let's serve Him. My name is Rexaline Gonzalez, and I will always appreciate God's creation.
Morning everyone, my name is Patricia Pigalgas. So, to answer the question, how do you appreciate God's creation? For me, to appreciate God's creation is to simply admire them. At first, I don't really find them interesting, but as I dig deeper, I gradually realize that there's a beauty that lies within it. So, in the future, I think that if we just study and learn more about it, I think we would really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. That's all, thank you.